the Laura Robbins Gallery of Design from Nature. And part of the exhibition continues here in the Carol Weinstein International Center. Through that door, there's a small gallery that we extended the exhibition to this space as well. The exhibition was organized by students enrolled in the Museum Studies seminar, which I've been teaching this semester. They are all here to talk with you about the process of presenting this exhibition, which began with the very first meeting of the class at the beginning of the semester. The class took on this project with great enthusiasm, and they had curated a very provocative exhibition that you got a taste of, as well as planning the programming and marketing for their exhibition. They wanted me to give a few brief remarks on the background of the course and previous exhibitions done by previous seminar classes, just, I guess, to see how they measured up. And also about why this project is included as part of the course. Since I came to the university 20 years ago, I've been teaching a course in museum studies, sometimes once a year, sometimes every other year. Several times the course was taught as part of our London Arts program. But mostly we have been here on campus, like this semester, and doing field trips a little closer to home. The course is now a required course for our arts management concentration for students with majors or minors in the visual arts or performing arts. And this is a program that is co-directed by myself with Deborah Somers, the director of the Modeling Center. And of course, other students take the seminar because they are interested in the workings of the museum field. Concerning the why of their question, simply put, they gain hands-on experience in the making of a museum exhibition and a deeper understanding of this basic activity of a museum. They work closely with our museum staff, and they learn in a very direct way about the many issues that can and do arise with any and every exhibition a museum presents to its audience. I can't think of a better way to learn about exhibitions and museums. This is only the fourth time we've had the Museum Studies class organize an exhibition in our museum. Each time they have been given an open-ended concept to begin the organizing process. And as part of the assignment, they were also asked to select works from the collections of the university museums. And that gives them a close look at the range of the collections that we have in the university museums. Tonight, you will hear from the 10 organizers about their experience of bringing to you social customs across cultures. And now, I will turn the program over to our two MCs, Julia Check and Lynn Etches.
Welcome, and thank you again for coming tonight. Thank you, Dr. Waller, and we also like to thank all the museum staff for helping us out, putting on this great exhibition for you all tonight. As Professor Waller mentioned, we began with the idea of context and object. We began, even just beginning the first class, we brainstormed ideas. We tried to connect it to other events going on campus. I know some of our other classmates are going to talk more in depth about this a little later, so I won't belabor it right now. But from context and object and from the other events on campus, we arrived at the idea of highlighting social customs across cultures. Some of these social customs, as you'll see, include drinking and dining, dance, music, gaming, and sporting as well. So you'll see all of that in the exhibits and in our presentations tonight. Once we decided on these ideas, we divided into 3 different groups. And these groups included curating, marketing, and programming, as we mentioned. The curating team, they'll talk about their experiences later. They were essentially responsible for selecting the objects that were included in the exhibition. They researched them, and then they arranged the actual gallery space. And the so they're very important, obviously, we're all very important. The programming team was responsible for events such as tonight. We organized a lot of this. We also organized some satellite events, tours. Next week we'll talk about, we're having a school group come in, and we'll be having some little activities associated with the gallery for them. We also helped arrange. We just wanted to highlight the educational component of the exhibition. And finally, the marketing team did a lot of the advertising. They got the word out on campus and in the community. They did spider bites, if anybody's familiar with that. They also brought in the Collegian, our student-run newspaper, and some people from the Richmond website to interview and take photos at our exhibit. So that's a little brief encapsulation of what everyone here did, and they'll talk more about it later again.
Okay. Well, I would now like to introduce the teams and their members. So, for the curating team, will you please stand? We have Mary Ellen Stanley, Catherine Given, Caroline Covert, and Emily Bowden. For the programming team, we have Jackie Clary, Julia Tech, and myself, Layla Hedges. And for marketing, we have Amy Nicholas, Ann Tyler Feldman, and Mark Ferguson. And now we're going to have a member from each team come and discuss their experiences in putting together this exhibition. So, Emily Bowden. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the opening of our exhibition. When the Museum Studies class began planning its exhibition project, the class knew it was going to be a significant undertaking. The theme of the exhibition, Context and Object, was given to us by Professor Waller as a starting point to not only establish a theme, but also to instill parameters in which to guide our thinking. This multidimensional concept highlights a fundamental dilemma many museums face, that of reconciling an object's original usage and its display in a museum setting. When an object is removed from its original context, its meaning changes, and providing a comparison between several similar objects can assist a viewer in understanding them in a new dimension. The objects here are all removed from their original context, but in comparing them across cultures, a new level of comprehension can be reached. Having the entire University of Richmond Museum's collection at our disposal, our challenge as curators would be narrowing our focus to make a cohesive exhibit that still fit within the frame of our complex theme, context, and object. After rigorous class discussions and after many meetings with the curatorial team, who was responsible for designing the exhibit and choosing the works, it was eventually decided that we wanted to conduct a cross-cultural examination of recreational activities using both objects and two-dimensional images from the university museums. One of the most appealing aspects of the permanent collection in the Laura Robbins Gallery is the variety of objects exhibited from different cultures, including African, South American, and Asian, just to name a few. We were interested in looking at various objects from these cultures and assessing their similarities and differences. Several events on campus were highlighting cultural diversity, so we decided to continue the global theme and ensure that our exhibition represented many countries, time periods, and peoples. We felt that the best way to express these cultural similarities and differences would be to construct categories that fit into our overarching theme of a cross-cultural examination. Since cultures around the world are so dynamic and often unfamiliar to a foreign viewer, we decided to select pastimes which are integral to all cultures throughout the world. As a result, we decided to showcase social customs across cultures, which included dining, drinking, dance, music, and games. These specific categories were selected because, as a curatorial team, we felt that these themes could be best represented by the objects and images available in the collection. Although there were so many objects and images to choose from to fulfill our vision for the exhibition, selecting appropriate objects that created understandable comparisons while addressing every category proved to be an extremely difficult process. However, after weeks of searching, selecting, eliminating, and discussing objects, a comprehensive group of works was selected that fulfilled both the overarching concept of object and context and created a both visually and intellectually stimulating exhibit. After finalizing what objects and images we wanted in our exhibit, The next step was to determine the physical layout of the exhibit in both the Laura Robbins Gallery and the Carol Weinstein International Center. This step was crucial for the exhibition since the objects are so different, yet need to create a logical progression while representing the individual leisure activities. The objects needed to create a cohesive unit, yet still function independently. Although the curatorial team was concerned that the exhibition did not articulate the intended vision, after the installation and additions of text, the exhibition came to life and showcased our original intentions to compare the social practices of various cultures throughout the world in an accessible and entertaining way. We all hope that you enjoy viewing the exhibition as much as we enjoyed creating it, and hope that, like our museum studies class, you can examine these objects in your own personal context and understand them in an innovative way. Thank you. And speaking next for the programming team is Jackie Clary.
Thank you all once again for coming out tonight. We're so happy to have you all with us. As the programmers and educators for this exciting exhibition, Layla Hedges, Julie Tuck, and myself have learned so much. The first thing, primarily being, what do museum educators and programmers do? Well, in a nutshell, it's our goal to translate the message, the grand ideas, the concepts that our curators develop so that audiences of all kinds, ages, interests are able to take something away from that. And we do this by means of planning events like tonight, by publishing written materials, and by developing extra activities or programs for our visitors. With such a daunting challenge ahead of us, we started planning big. Some of those plans included having a variety of performing groups with us tonight, collaborating with a variety of university faculty and organizations, and putting on talks and workshops, as well as working with area school children. However, despite our bursting enthusiasm and excitement for this project, we learned an important but disappointing truth about museum programming, that being that things don't always turn out the way you expect them to. One of the primary issues we had to contend with was simply the timing of the process. First, it takes the curators quite a long time to decide on the concept they want to present and which items and images they want to use to show that. Thankfully, they were able to get this done in a timely manner, and we were able to actually get started and do our job. However, that was not the only bump in the road we had. The second one being, had trouble booking talent and scholars for our proposed events. We sent out numerous emails, lots of phone calls, but we always got the same kind of response. Individuals, they were excited to be requested or to be contacted and very excited about our exhibition, but they weren't able to do it either due to conflicts in scheduling, budget issues, or just lack of misunderstanding what our purpose was. I know this is starting to sound like a woe was us kind of tale, but you can rest assured we did manage to pull some things together in the end. You all happen to be experiencing one of them at this very moment. Every detail of tonight's event, from the speakers that you're going to hear, the film that we'll show momentarily, and the fabulous food that you're going to have from University Catering later on, we all had to do with that, our team. We also developed this brochure, beautifully illustrated, wonderful text, for you all to take home with you tonight as keepsakes and show your friends so they can come back later and visit us. And we also were able to fulfill our goal of using this exhibition to serve area school students. Next week we're going to have about 70 students come in, and we're going to have them engage in discussion and activities that are on their level, but that will allow them to access the message and content of our exhibition as well. Finally, we were able to connect ourselves with a pre-scheduled campus event called Global Sounds, which is next Sunday. And we're going to be available for gallery talks at 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. So please come out again or send your friends. Provide more information on the pieces in the exhibition as well as the process. So once again, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. And we want you to truly enjoy what you see. If you have any questions, whether it's about the process, the pieces, please ask any one of us. We'll be more than happy to talk about it. And next, we'll have Mark Ferguson from our marketing team.
let me be the fifth person to welcome you to our wonderful, wonderful exhibition. As the marketing team, Amy and Tyler and I, we knew we didn't want to just sell a product for this exhibition. We didn't just want to advertise. This is a group project, and as such, we wanted to be part of the group. We wanted to get started early. We wanted to be involved in all steps. We try to help get the programmers and the curators and everyone working together. Because marketing isn't only advertising, it's about connecting your curators and your programmers with whoever's going to come see your work. I mean, that's what the B School told me, but I'm not really sure. But so we wanted to see how we could integrate our exhibitions with the greater university community. And there's events that are happening constantly all over this campus, and we wanted to see how our event would be able to help their events gain perspective in addition to their events giving us perspective. A sort of symbiotic relationship. So as the curators started to go down this path of cross-cultural examination, we started to reach out to fine arts groups across campus to see sort of what was happening, to see what we could do to sort of help them help us. We immediately found Things Fall Apart, which is the Department of Theater's main production for the semester, which is occurring later this month, is based on the famous African book, Things Fall Apart. And Scola, which we had a connection to through Amy, was doing a global sort of sounds kind of program. So we reached out to them and we began to talk about maybe advertising for us, and we could advertise for them, and then everyone could be happy together. And so as we brought this back to the curators and the programmers, this also helped them sort of shape sort of what their ideas were, and this notion of African and this thing sort of push it down this path. And so we sort of, which is how we settled into the social customs across cultures that you guys will see today. Now, of course, I'm getting ahead of myself. We didn't exactly just sort of flow nicely down the river right to social customs across cultures. I think at our longest, our title was a Custom, Context and Object in Social Customs Across the Globe Museum Studies Seminar Exhibition, which is a little excessive, I feel like. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. And so we worked with that and to sort of massage some of these things and sort of to get us into a place where we were really ready to present. In the same way as we were working with the curators for a while to sort of figure out which sort of pieces we could nail down. So when we released a press release which maybe some of you guys saw, that way we could be able to show some of the works to help get people excited about our event. And so as this thing, so we talked to the Modeling Center about maybe integrating our advertising with theirs. And so we started to create mini flyers of advertising our exhibition, which we'll be putting in the Scola thing, which is Friday. Everyone should come out and see that. It's going to be really cool. And also, when Things Fall Apart, you also get a nice little advertisement for us, which isn't obviously all we did. In addition to press release and mini flyers, we maintained a website. We played on Twitter and Facebook, as everyone wants to do these days. We created posters, the digital flyers. If you've been in the Commons and you see those TVs, we have a little digital flyer in there. The spider bites. In addition to reaching out to the Collegian for a little bit of free publicity, and in addition to arts and sciences. If you go to richmond.edu, you might just see a picture of some of our fabulous class looking at some of our work. So then as this all started to develop, programming, in addition, as they continued to work to try to find groups, also was able to continue to roll on with as well as it got rolling. International Day on the 12th, we will be helping to host that, in addition to Global Sounds Festival on the 10th, as was already mentioned. And about 70 fifth graders from Overby Shepherd Elementary, though. I mean, I don't think we'll be taking 70 on all at once. As the marketing team, we didn't just want to sort of sell this product. We wanted to tie all the groups together to see how we could then tie ourselves in with the greater university and then help the greater community of Richmond. And so, that said, it's not like we didn't do all those other things, Facebook and whatnot. We wanted to do it all. So that's what we tried. Thanks. Juliet will be coming up to continue our MC. That was my fault.
video for you. It's about 2.5 minutes long. We just want to start getting you thinking about some of these ideas of customs that are common throughout all cultures, but how they differ through these cultures as well. And it'll sort of, you'll see it'll have some questions in there, get you thinking about these ideas, and it'll play off of some of the objects that you'll be seeing in the exhibition shortly. So, we'll go ahead and play it. Okay, sorry, we missed the first lecture. Okay, so that was this little video we prepared for you. And as you can see, we used a lot of different music and dances from different cultures. We kind of jumbled some of them up to just show how the context really helps you define and mean different things, different social customs. We're going to have a little question and answer period now. We didn't know if some of you wanted to ask us about the course, ask us about anything that we did for the exhibition, the video, anything. We're opening up to the entire class as well as the professors. So, yes.
Yeah, how does the music and the dance in the video relates or correspond to the exhibition?
The exhibition? Well,
Yes, I do.
we talk about social customs in the exhibition and dance and music. Yeah.
You're all on the spot.
Dance and music they're two of the social customs that we discussed. And we, as Jackie mentioned, we wanted to have some sort of dancers here. We're hoping to get performers, but because of scheduling conflicts, we didn't. So we still wanted some sort of visual components. We made this video. The dance and music correspond because they touch on, you'll see actually some of the dances, but particularly the whirling, people who just were whirling, those are Turkish. Yeah, there's actually objects in the exhibition that show that. So you'll see there are correspondences between those instruments down in the exhibition as well. You guys are doing that.
you're doing it. So it's a really good way to learn if you're not sure of what direction you want to go to in a museum, to get an experience for all of it, so that maybe by the end we figured out what might work for us and what might not. So, yeah.
And another component of this course, we've done field trips to various museums. We went to the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts as well as Virginia Holocaust Museum, and we got some behind-the-scenes tours of them. We met people who work there, and were introduced to different positions there as well. So I think the course overall, not just this exhibition, really does sort of give you a lot of insight into what a museum position or museum job would be. So, and also we've been working closely with museums here on campus, obviously, so we've seen what they do here as well. So.
All of the staff has been very involved.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
So does your museum here just carry like local artists or
Well,
from whoever works there?
yeah. We actually, all of these objects are from the collections here at University of Richmond. So, curious to probably talk a little more about the objects themselves.
Our collections in the university museums cover pretty much every culture, every time period you can think of. We have ancient artifacts and ancient Greek pictures to modern artist works, some natural history pieces, gems and corals and some fabulous fossils. So we really, our gallery pretty much has it all. We were very, very privileged to be able to work with the entire collection in designing our exhibition.
And I know that there are some works that they own that are from people in Richmond or tied to Richmond in some way too. So yeah, kind of both.
In particular, the Luther Coleman Wells prints that we're exhibiting both up here in the International Center and down in the Will Robbins Gallery. They are by a local artist
Who graduated from
who graduated from the university.
In 1920.
But there are other spaces for galleries across campus as well, and they will host sort of exhibitions not from the collection as well. So I know they have one, Pilgrimage and Faith is one right now, not from the collections, but so there's sort of a combination going on.
How did the curators go about narrowing down which ones you wanted to include in the exhibition? Because I know the collection's gigantic.
It was a huge job, just as Julie was saying, Caroline. There's just pieces from all over the world, and that sort of influenced why we did a cross-cultural examination, because we could sort of take pieces that from all over the world and sort of put them in the museum context and then compare them and sorry. I mean, we basically started by just walking through the Lawrence Gallery and saying, be like this, be like this, be like this. And we were able to look through all the archives, look at the enormous number of prints that we have here, and just try to go through them and find ones that we thought would be relevant to the exhibit.
The challenge really was to narrow down our selection. We had to really pick pieces that managed to exemplify the specific themes we were trying to present, the dining and drinking or the dancing, as well as keeping that sort of global diversity perspective and sort of stand alone as independent objects of art that are just fantastic. So I think we ended up with a really strong selection, and we hope you think the same.
And I know another thing as far as narrowing down, I wasn't really curious, but just sort of from what I understand of it, we wanted to make sure there was a balance between the objects and the 2D and 3D objects. So that sort of helped define what we selected or what they selected. So, which is not something that prior to this class, I wouldn't have even really considered that, but you do have to think about it even when you're arranging it. If you have too many objects, it can be overwhelming, whereas if you have too many prints, you want a good balance with that.
And even color too.
Right.
You know, you might add something, and you might like another object better, but you add something because it brings color to an area where there might not be a lot. So it has to be visually interesting too.
We watched some HGTV to make some of the
You really brought the point across that although cultures are so different in a way, are also really
Yeah.
on the team you ended up on?
We filled out preference sheets in the beginning. We had the 3 selections, and Professor Waller described each of them to us, and we all preferenced what we wanted.
And why we wanted it, what our interests were, what our goals were, what we wanted to bring to each position, and then from there, he kind of put us where we should be.
So what are you hoping people that aren't from the University of Richmond are going to get out of the exhibition when they come to it?
Well, I think we hope pretty much anyone who comes is going to take something similar away, sort of what you were saying, that even though we have all these differences among different, with cultures, we have similar social customs. And so in that way, there's a lot of similarities and differences with these cultures. So we're kind of hoping that everyone takes that away. But I think also it would be nice if people from outside the University of Richmond community can take away just how great the museums here are, and a lot of the different things that go on here on campus. And as far as the global sounds this weekend and some of the other things that we as programmers, and I'm a programmer, so I have that perspective that we've been doing. We hope that they kind of can take away that we have a lot going on here, and there's a lot of opportunities for the community to come to Richmond and learn a lot, and engage with the campus community. So I don't know, is that anyone to add?
Well, and I think it's a good opportunity for people from the community who come here regularly to see some of the objects from the museums that they're used to seeing kind of spread out through the museum, brought together in a different way, which, putting it in a different context, which is the point, and maybe that they can take something different or learn something more about an object that they may have just passed by before in the gallery too.
What do you find to be the most striking juxtaposition of cross-cultural objects?
The African Mancala board and the Russian chess set are probably our favorite example of what we're trying to convey. Everyone knows how to play chess in the Western world, but not everyone knows how to play Mancala. But they're actually very similar sort of strategic games, and so we chose these 2 really fabulously done objects to try and sort of encapsulate our entire message and say, look, you may not be able to play Mancala. I certainly can. I do know a little bit about chess, but both of these cultures prize these games very highly, and it shows in the workmanship of the Mancala board and the chess set, and they really aren't that different after all. That being said, I still can't play Mancala. Or chess.
Yes.
What kind of activities do you have planned for the students that are coming from the elementary school?
Well, that day is actually an international day, so we are working with the Center for Civic Engagement. They do a lot of volunteer on campus, as well as the Office of International Education. So there's going to be sort of rotating stations. That they're going to have 2 stations, and the 3rd station will be our gallery. And we're planning on talking about, we only have like 15 minutes, so it's not a ton of time. But we're going to, and there's going to be 25 students at a time, so, But we're going to talk to them, have a globe, show them some of the cultures that we're going to be talking about, and then introduce these ideas to them, sort of, what music do you listen to, what's your interest that way. And then we have some activities planned where we're actually going to have them make little instruments that they can then decorate in a way that represents them or their culture. You guys
Just like a fun way to get students thinking about things that they may not normally think of. It's like for a 5th grader to think of, international, what's that? Just trying to narrow it down, just focusing on what the similarities are rather than the differences, and how they have music, other people have music, and they do things this way, but we still enjoy it the same way.
Okay, well, I would like to thank you all for coming, and please come join us at the Laura Robbins Gallery for refreshments.
But before you do, if you'd like to check out the gallery right here, we do have some objects on display right through these doors. So if you want to head here first, and then we have refreshments and food and music down in the Laura Robbins Gallery. You can see the big exhibition. So,
Yeah.